Hey guys, welcome back to Fort Mort. It is that time again. It is Friday. It is modding series. And of course, I brought another special guest. Remember, guys, every Friday morning, every Friday, we will have something out there special. Today, I brought with you, I'll bring him up right now, the GAC Master from Operation Metaverse. If you don't know this goddamn legend, you need to SWGOH harder. That's all I'm saying. How are you, GAM?
Hey guys, what's going on? What's up, man?
My man, thank you for coming on. I totally appreciate it. Who are we going to talk about today?
We're going to talk about the Mandalorians. This video will probably be, it might be future, for a lot of the players, but we'll talk about some of the, some of the players, some of the characters everybody can get, and kind of get yourself set up for the future, for Bo-Katan, for armor, stuff like that. So, kind of get yourself prepared.
I guess I could have been better prepared because I'm on my alt account who has no Mandalorians. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up my account that has some Mandalorians. But yeah, so what are you liking? I mean, your account's running what, 7 million or so?
7.7.
7.7. So you've got a lot of the toys to play with. And Ungam is also, if you guys don't know him so miraculously, he's also known for modding and a lot of things he does. So make sure that you guys go over and check them out. Hang on, Gam. I had to pause for a second, guys. All right, so pulling up my account right now. Here are the Mandalorians that I'm currently working with. I'm only running 5.3, extremely bloated. I do not have an account like this monster over here. But who you want to start with, Gam?
Well, I think, we can briefly touch on Bo-Katan. Her leadership is very, very important. We'll talk about armor a little bit, but I think the main character that kind of makes this whole team and how to mod its kind of run is Beskar himself, right? Like the speed of your Beskar will kind of dictate the speed of everybody else, because you really want to capitalize on those whistling birds. And now with the touch up to Sabine's kit, she gives offense up to Mandalorians. So now if you get the 15 plus whistling birds, you'll also have offense up stacked on top of that. You'll start wasting characters, like potentially 2-3 characters in one turn, if you if you can target the squishier ones. I would suggest try to get him to 250. 250 plus. Obviously, the faster the better. If you can do 250 with an offense arrow, that's really what you want. But if you need the speed, then so be it. But what that does is 250 is not very fast. So that means the rest of your characters, because you want to capitalize on those whistling birds, are going to be slower. So this is not a very speed intensive team. It's going to be just kind of a one facilitator sort of team, kind of like I don't know, maybe like a first order officer, like a Moff Gideon. So those sort of characters that it doesn't matter the speed of the rest of your team as long as one character goes first. You're going to put all of your speed on armor for this team, and then the rest just kind of follow suit behind Beskar. So if you got your Beskar 250, then you obviously, what you want to do is you want to have Sabine go right after him, right? So she's going to AoE. The Zeta is very good now. It's not necessary.
The Sabine Zeta.
Yes, Sabine
okay.
Zeta. Yeah. Yes, Sabine Zeta will go next. So we'll say 249, 248 speed, and she'll lay the AoE out. They'll give him 5 whistling birds. And then also the staggers for them Bo-Katan, who has a really low base speed. Like Bo-Katan, you just want to, I would suggest modding her with just crit damage and potency. You could maybe, just basically damage, because you don't need the speed on her because she's got a really low base speed. There's better spots for your speed sets. So you can make her, 247-ish, relatively easy. And what she's going to do is follow up Sabine, AoE, hit all the staggers, dispel all the buffs, and daze the characters. Because what you want to do is, this is all about setting up Ordo, right? The whole premise of the Bo-Katan team is setting up Ordo, all day long. Yeah, because you got armor, who will just, I'm trying not to focus too much on Bo-Katan or armor because they are newer characters.
Yeah.
But to really, really summarize what Bo-Katan does is her leadership gives an ability very similar to Thrall, right? Where you have an extra ability. And what that ability does is it dispels your character and allows them to taunt. So you've got your armor, who's going to be the lead, who's going to facilitate your whole team. So you're going to AoE with her, or what you can do now is with Bo-Katan leadership, you can actually make the armor a pre-taunt if you have her fast enough, because she'll have the ability to either mass assist, she'll have the ability to give 2 stacks of Beskar, or she can taunt right off the gate, the first move of the match. So armor has got a little more utility now with Bo-Katan. So you can do what you want with her. I suggest going after the 3 Beskar, because basically the whole premise of this team is you want to have Ordo taunting with the 3 stacks of Beskar, with the ingots, right? So so he's going to counter. And under the Bo-Katan leadership, every time a character attacks out of turn, you get protection and health back. This team is incredible for offense-oriented GAC players. Very, very good for banners. Basically, Ordo now, who I've is very, very, very good. Very good under Bo-Katan. Probably the best Mandalorian under Bo-Katan. He's going to be countering with those
Especially
three
under
best
Relic, right?
Oh, yeah. Countering, 3 stacks now, so he's going to counter every time. He's going to be healing the team. And, he has the option to taunt, so everybody has to hit him. So when he's countering, he's healing, he's dealing wicked amounts of damage. He's currently, at the current state of the game, I think he's bugged right now. So do cater your expectations if they do, fix that. But he's just going and going and going, healing and healing and healing. He's basically just a offensive healer. Basically, under Bo-Katan is the nastiest healer in the game. So,
that's crazy.
Yeah, and all the while you got offense up, 20 whistling birds, you got a countering Ordo, all sorts of damage with this team. It's pretty cool. I'm having a lot of fun with it.
So you're talking Bo-Katan, Armor, Ordo, Ren, and Beskar? Is that what I heard?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Just want to make sure. Are you finding any place for Gar Saxon and ISC or any of these guys?
Those characters are good. They're not bad. They're not. I don't think they're optimal, but they are decent. Because they do provide more assisting and more healing, right? So there's even more healing if you want to use Gar Saxon. Now, Imperial Super Commando, maybe you don't have Sabine. For some reason, maybe you've really gone all in your Empire fleet. Imperial Super Commando is really good, just in terms of like GP efficiency. He's got 3 abilities, kind of like a First Order Executioner, Resistance Trooper, so you can get a lot of bang for your GP buck for the GP kind of conscious players. He's not a bad fit. He's a pilot. He's got a place in this team. Buff immunity is always helpful. But yeah, I mean, so how do you want me to break down like the modding itself?
So you talked about Armor already, or Bo-Katan already, with the crit and potency, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah, just crit damage, potency. You can do 3 potency sets because what's cool about her is, especially in 3s, she has vulnerable on her basic, and she's assisting out of turn, constantly laying vulnerability down on everybody on the battlefield. So maybe crit chance isn't quite as important on this team as it would be on some other attacking oriented teams. Ordo gives himself crit chance up. She's spraying vulnerable all over the field. So there's I think this team is one you could potentially neglect crit chance on if you're kind of strapped for that secondary and in the sets.
So what about the armor?
Armor, you just want her as fast as possible. Just like your Thrawn. So just as fast as you can get. The faster she is, the more teams I think you'll be able to realistically beat for good banners.
Yep.
She's actually one of the... Go ahead.
I want to come up to Ordo last. Go ahead.
Yeah. She's one of the very few I'd probably suggest. She's on the short list of like tenacity characters I'd suggest tenacity on. Maybe like Hux, Nest, obviously. Armor, maybe Zalbar, so some tanks. So she's up there in that, because that's the thing with Armor. She's got a super cool kit. I mentioned how you've got 3 choices now for each move with the taunt. But if she gets ability block, she gets stunned, she's worthless. She does no damage. She got some armor shred, but you got to keep the debuffs off her.
What about Sabine Wren? She's a pretty good damage dealer when that armor shred is pretty dirty.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And like I said, just 1 speed slower. If you can, clock it 1 speed slower than Armor. That way, you get the 5 Whistling Birds, the stagger, and the offense up. So you just turbocharge Beskar's Whistling Birds when he gets back to his turn.
So I was curious about this, because the Armor has got Armor Shred and Ren's got Armor Shred. Are you finding stacking the Armor Shred is helping anywhere? Because you're talking about getting them Whistling Birds going, but that's for Beskar.
Mm-hmm. You can. I mean, I guess you could Armor Shred, and Armor starts with 2 stacks of the ingots, right?
Yeah.
You want to get 3 for Ordo.
Right.
So there is a way you could potentially, because Sabine's got good base speed. But if you want to make her 249, just for the sake of this conversation, I mean, you're adding what, like 65, 70 speed to her, which is very feasible. So you can just really stack her up with damage. Tons and tons of damage on her. I would almost suggest potency over crit chance, just simply because you really have to land those staggers.
Yeah.
Because you are a slow team. The other team could potentially go first, and you don't want them to go again. You want to win after that. So lots of damage. Potency, maybe some crit chance. She's super squishy. I've got her gear 13, no relics, and she is 75,000 health protection. Really, really, really squishy.
Really?
So, she's So she's a glass cannon, and but also, what's good about her is her basic is just a multiple tapping, right? So if you can target a character like maybe on her second move with a basic, you can attack up to 4 times and really get the birds going. So yeah, she's pretty standard modding for her.
How about Beskar with them birds?
All offense. All offense. He's got such high. He doesn't need crit chance, right? Because it's just true damage.
Yep.
You can put health on him. I would suggest health, maybe tenacity, just to kind of play off his high base tenacity. Because apart from Bo-Katan, that's the weakness of his team is they're very vulnerable to debuffs, right? Because there's no tenacity up. You have to use your entire turn to cleanse with the Bo-Katan leadership. So it's tenacity on him is not bad. But if he gets stunned, it's not the end of the world because you can just keep stacking up the whistling birds, which is kind of a silly mechanic. Yeah.
How about Ordo?
Ordo just balls to the wall, just make him nasty. Crit damage or offense, I haven't decided which one's better. I'm currently running crit damage. I do not have the Zeta on him, which gives crit damage up. I'm not quite sold on that yet. We'll see. But like I said, he gives himself crit chance. And this is a Bo-Katan leadership really gives the bonus to max protection, right? But Ordo is the character protection all the characters. I don't think I mentioned that. Protection on everybody. Except for Ordo, because his health steal, because he, like Sabine, he also just got a rework to where he gets health steal and other benefits based on the number of Mandalorians in the team now too. So his health steal, while he's countering, you can basically make an indestructible Ordo because he's got so much health steal. He's triple tapping. He's giving himself turn meter. He's got a big AoE, crit chance up. So, you can put a little bit of crit chance on him, make him, 60 or so percent, get him up to the 85% crit chance mark. That should be fine. If you want to go 100, go for it. But I just want damage.
It's funny you bring up that Zeta, and every time I look at it, I see, Candace gains critical damage up for 2 turns when the enemy gains taunt, death marked, or marked. I mean, how many people death mark and mark? Very few in this game. And then taunting, so you're specifically, if you're going to put that Zeta on, you're pretty much making him his Zeta where, I got to find a team that's going to taunt. Because that's the only place he's going to become, his Zetas become usable. So I agree with you.
Well, you mentioned the term bloat. Your bloated account. I think that's what you said earlier. I think that Zeta's bloats. Like it's very helpful in very few situations. If nobody's taunting, and like you said, nobody's death marked or
it's useless.
Anything like that. Yeah.
It's freaking useless. They will never do anything. I find some irony in this because we're looking at the Mandalorian faction, and we're not talking about Mando in any of these lineups. You know what I mean?
He's awful.
Isn't that crazy?
Well, Django's fantastic. But
Django's amazing. Yeah,
he's great on this team, but he's great everywhere. Like this team functions.
He's versatile as hell. Django is so good. Separatist now. I mean, all the tags that he's got, he can go. What do you got? Mandalorian, scoundrels, separatist, leadership, bounty hunter. And he hits like a freaking Mack truck under relic.
Yes,
he's
great. He's great on this team because there's so many AOE's. Right, he's so many AOE's. So you're just slowly picking apart characters, all 5 characters, and Django could just go in there and kind of cap them off, just kind of finish them off.
Yeah,
it's he's great, but
it's like
at
the new M-Trooper setup.
Just I don't know. He's too good on my bounty hunters. I got too many uses for him to put on this team.
He's to me, him, Thrawn, Watt are probably the 3 I use versatilely to move around teams. I use them constantly, rotating them around. They do not set in a standard. So I like how you're saying Beskar and Bo-Katan, Armor, Sabine Wren, and Ordo go into one team. That took, granted, 3 of these are ones that you've got to whale right now in order to get these. But it's future proofing. Sabine Wren, most people don't get her early on, but later on end up getting her or don't, but they should. She hits like a truck. And then Ordo.
I just finished her. I've been playing for almost 6 years. I just finished her.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, exactly. And Ordo he's mandatory because of the way he's set up. You have to G12 him to open Malak. You have no choice. You can't get him high enough otherwise. So you're stuck with him sitting there doing nothing. So this is great that they made some more characters feasible. I love that.
At this current state where we're making this video, we don't have any idea what's coming, but I think it's very feasible. Beskar is going to be needed for something. Like we're getting all these the Mandalorian series, we're getting all these characters now. And I think they could make a Mandalorian, maybe we have to use Gar Saxon and, all these ridiculous characters nobody has.
Yeah.
Remnant, Imperial Remnant in the same way.
Yep.
There's all sorts of characters. This is screaming some sort of.
Well, Beskar is going in a ship, which I'm very excited about. Very, very excited about. I really want to see that ship. I want to see it in action.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Yeah, it will. It will. It'll be 6 months down the road or something before anybody's really opening it. I think it's 4 months for anybody that's hitting top notch, but for me, it's going to be at least 6.
Yeah. But it's going to be a good ship, but you got to have Beskar, who is, a legendary character.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Yeah, just
I'm excited about him. I'm going to be opening him. I'm opening Jake Hale now and Amanda Beskar next. So I'm going to do them all before I get my first GL. I want all the characters. I'm a collector, bloater, and still winning somehow. Is what it is.
You talked about, I mean, if you get Queel too, like if you talk about Django being versatile, Queel's the same way. Like you kind of pair them together. You got the Django who he's got all these tags, but he is a scoundrel, and his leadership applies to all the scoundrels. So speed up. You can make your Queel 300 speed under Django is 330, and then he gives everybody else. He basically makes everybody else 330. So it's
Queel has got a stupid good kit. Good kit. He's only scoundrel tagged. Yeah, and he's stupid squishy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If he doesn't have IG-11 or somebody in there saving his ass, he's done.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 100%. Yeah. Well, guys, I'm sure you got something out of this. I was excited to talk about Mandalorians. You got to be well in order to get some right now, but this is future proofing. And like I said, you've got great opportunity for characters that as soon as you're able to start farming them, that you're already ahead of the game because you know how to mod them. So Gom, thank you for that, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
Absolutely. And salute to the battalion, guys. We love you guys. Don't forget, hit that follow button. Gom's blocking it right there, but it's pointing down and it says, hit that follow button on YouTube. We're chasing Gom. We're only, I think, 6,500 behind him, so we're making our way. Get over there and see Operation Metaverse. I will have it down in there if you guys don't know him. Him and T Money, man. Big brains, and CG likes to talk to them. They're one of the few that they talk to, so make sure you guys get over there. I'm proud of you for that, by the way.
Thanks, man. It's been a lot of fun getting to know him.
Yep. Awesome. All right, we're cutting out to the outro, guys. 1 battalion strong till next Friday. Look forward to my new spreadsheet that's coming out to the public for you guys. I'm hoping to have it out next week. It's for GAC Mastering. In the meantime, we are out.
Shut up and sit down.